movies. We love them. There's nothing like coming home or going to a theater. You get yourself a nice bowl of popcorn. Get yourself some candy. Get yourself an extra large cup of that poison we call soda. And just scuff it all down and watch a movie you absolutely enjoy. Well, those aren't the movies we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the movies that I specifically can't stand. The movies that I have to wash my eyeballs with bleach because I've just seen something horrific. The movies in which I wish I was no longer breathing because I'm watching these said movies. These are the movies that we're here to talk about today. Movies I just despise. Before we continue, if you could click that subscribe button, click that like button, put the bell on notifications, share, let all your friends know that I'm here making videos. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to wait till the end of the video to see, because maybe you don't like it. Maybe you want to give me a dislike button. You could wait till the end, or you could do it now. Doesn't matter. You could always unsubscribe later. You could always take that like away. Just feel free. Just wanted to throw that in there. Anyways, first movie. It's a movie series we're gonna talk about first. I might get some dislikes because I'm talking about movies that, Anyways, first movie series that I don't like, Transformers. I have friends that like these movies. I have one in particular that really likes Transformers. Like, he likes cartoons, and he knows about the lore and all that extra stuff that are not just in the movies. Now, I'm not talking about Transformers as a whole franchise. I'm specifically talking about these Michael Bay movies. I hear Bumblebee's good. I haven't seen it. But I'm specifically talking about Michael Bay movies. Don't like them. I don't like them at all. To me, these movies always felt like we have action, cars, explosions, girls. Real man's man movie. But beneath that all, there's really nothing. At least for me. Now, I never really liked Transformers. Like, not that I just, when I was little, I didn't know what Transformers were. I just know that this movie came out called Transformers. And I watched it, and I wasn't a big fan. Just, like I said, a lot of explosions, actions, but there was really nothing there to grip. There weren't characters that I liked. There wasn't a story there that was intriguing to me. It just wasn't grabbing me at all. I remember I watched the fourth one because it had Mark Wahlberg. I like Mark Wahlberg.
The rules have changed.
And I'm like, okay, let's see how this one goes. Maybe different character. Maybe I'll like this character more. Open mind. Let's watch this one with an open mind. And I did not like it at all. That movie was just, we're gonna get into this later, but when a movie bores you, that's the worst thing a movie can do. When it bores you, it's horrible. Because you don't want to be bored. At least you like Sharknado, probably not the greatest movie, but it's so silly that, you're intrigued. This Transformers movie just bored me. There was a scene, and they're fighting in China. Somewhere in China, I think. I could be wrong. And then they're fighting, and it's a lot of action and explosions, and it looks cool. It looks really cool, don't get me wrong. But the thing is it looked cool. Yeah, it's really all that I took out of it. There were so many explosions in that movie, I got tired of seeing explosions. I got bored of explosions. I was sitting there watching the movie, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow. I'm looking at an explosion, and I feel nothing. This movie has done so much that an explosion feels like nothing. And, that's just not what you want out of a movie. Now, I plan on watching Bumblebee eventually, because it has John Cena in it, and I like John Cena. WWE Network. But for the rest of them, I hear it's good. But for the rest of those Transformers movies, not a fan. At all. Not at all. Just my opinion. Hey, just my opinion. Alright, next up we have a pair of movies I'd like to get into. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Friday the 13th Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday. We're gonna start off with 8, right? Here's the thing. I was watching all of these movies, all the Jason movies. I wanted to see them. I wanted to just binge them, just watch them all. And so I was doing that, and part 8 happens, and he's going to New York, and I'm like, all right, this is cool because it's different. I'm sitting here like, all right, I've seen the same thing 7 times. Not necessarily 7 times, but the shtick is getting old. You know, the shtick is getting old. A whole bunch of teens go to camp. He's in the camp. He kills the camp counselors. Rinse, repeat. You add some extra stuff, but all in all, same thing, right? It's getting old. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're doing something different here. We're going to New York, different location. Let's see how this goes. I'm intrigued. You got me intrigued. First of all, characters, but I can't remember any of them. Don't remember the names. I just remember one girl had a guitar. That was her thing. Was she liked the music? She played a guitar. That's all I remember. And she is not that long into the movie, so that's it. That terrible. Also, another thing, a lot of this movie's on a boat. You don't get to New York until halfway through the film. Not most of the movie, but a lot of this movie is on a boat. I don't know if that's because it's so expensive to film in New York, and that's why they just had to like, all right, we don't have the budget for this, so most of this is going to be on a boat. But most of it is on a boat, and it's slow, and it's just, ugh. The characters just felt weird. Or stale, maybe. I don't know. They didn't feel like real teenagers to me. It was just, and again, just most of it on a boat. Characters you don't like or you don't care about. That's another. Characters you don't care about. Worst thing you can have. And it's just a rough thing to sit through. And finally, it's over. And this is the thing, right? I don't like this movie. I can't sit and watch this whole movie again. I would feel like I'm wasting my time. I have so much precious time on my earth. On the earth. I have just such little time on this earth. I can't sit and waste an hour and a half watching this movie again. I can't. But there's one good thing that comes out of this, which is why this isn't my least favorite movie of all time. It was close, especially when I first saw it. It was close. I'm like, yo, this movie sucked. The end, when the credits roll, the best part is the credits. And that sounds like some kind of joke, but there's a song that plays in the credits. I'd play it if I wouldn't get copyright strike. But it is fire. I love this song. It's just a good song. It's really 80s. It's like, I just really like that song. So that's why it's not like at the bottom of the list. I'm not going in any particular order, except I'm saving the worst for last. But other than that, it has that as a redeeming factor. That's it. Friday the 13th, part 9. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. This is honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. You know how I just said you're in New York for like halfway through the movie, you finally get to New York. This movie's I'm gonna look this up. I'm going to look this up because I have to look this up. Okay, I can't find it. But I'm telling you, he's in the movie, at least Jason, in his hockey mask. Like, this will make more sense when I explain what happens in the movie. But hockey mask, he's in the movie for like 12 minutes. He's in the movie for 12. This movie starts off so strong. It looks like the same thing. It's this girl, she's taking a shower in this camp cabin thing. It looks all old and rusty. And then Jason's there, and then he's chasing her. Like, alright, cool, tomato. Jason got a cool looking new look. He looks fire. And then he just gets into this circle, and then all these lights turn on, and it's a whole bunch of FBI agents or something, and they're all just like, boom, bro, they light them up, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? This is fire. I like this. This looks crazy. And then he's dead. At least so they thought. And the entire movie is, so the premise is, there's a bounty hunter trying to kill him or something, and he says that Jason is some kind of evil spirit thing that can only be killed by someone with Voorhees blood or something. So basically the whole movie is just this little sperm looking thing flying into other people's bodies, and then these other randoms are doing the killing. I watched these movies for Jason Voorhees. I seen the first Friday the 13th. I was tight because it wasn't Jason, it was his mom. I didn't know that going in. I watched these movies to see the guy with the hockey mask put it on and just why are you taking away the guy in the hockey mask and just making it these random people I don't care about? This movie, like I said earlier, the worst thing a movie can do is bore you. This movie bored me. It was a type of bad that isn't angry. It was a type of bad that isn't, I mean, maybe it's a little disappointing, but in reality, it was just boring. Boring, this movie. Gosh. I absolutely couldn't watch this movie again. I couldn't. It was just so boring to watch. I can't stand that movie. That movie just felt like a waste of. Look at me. I'm getting upset even just thinking about it. So yeah, that's another one. Now this next movie, I don't know if I'd say I despise this movie. I honestly don't know what to think about it, especially after watching the Snyder Cut. But this next movie is Batman v Superman. Now this movie was interesting in the fact that when I went to the theater to watch it, right? And when I first saw it, I liked it. When I left the theater, I liked the movie. But this is something that only this movie has ever done to me. This has only ever happened to me with this movie specifically. I haven't had this issue with any other movie ever. The more I thought about this movie, the more and more I did not like it. I liked it, and then on the car ride home, I liked it. I went to school. Someone was like, "Yeah, that movie," but I'm like, "Nah, it was good. I liked it." And then just the more time passed, the more I sat in my own mind. Because it'd be one thing, it's like, oh, you're watching reviews and everyone's telling you it's bad, so I didn't even think it's bad. It wasn't, that's happened before, but that wasn't this. It was just me in my own head, really sitting there and thinking about what happened in the movie, and thinking about him going, freaking, Martha, why did you say that name? And it's his mother's name, and Doomsday, and I'm just thinking of it all. And the more and more I thought about it, I did not like this movie. The more and more I thought about this movie, did not like it. I thought about the movie so much, I didn't like the movie anymore. Doomsday coming in out of nowhere. You don't look the greatest. That whole stuff, like, our moms have the same name. That's how this epic battle stops. Because it's like, oh, your mom's name's Martha, my mom's name's Martha. That's crazy. Wonder Woman's in there. That's cool, I guess. But it's kind of like, why are you here? They spent 5 minutes just to set up Justice League with those little videos of... It wasn't 5 minutes, but you get what I'm saying. Just didn't like the movie. The more I sat and thought about the movie, I did not like it. Never happened to me before. Hasn't happened since. It's crazy. So that's another one. Alright. Now we're down to the last two. I want to stress this enough that I don't like these movies. I don't like these movies. So the next one is The Cat in the Hat. I don't think I've complained about this movie before on this channel. Yeah, I wouldn't really know how I would have. So I'm going off right now. This is my opportunity to complain about this movie. Just The Cat in the Hat. Dr. Zeus would be so disappointed watching this Cat in the Hat movie. It is so cash grabby, just trying to sell you stuff. Lowest common denominator comedy. Really insulting to the people watching the movie. It's really just the worst of filmmaking. It's just the worst of filmmaking at its finest. Really just using this IP and just butchering it to such a terrible degree. This movie has adult humor. Why in a Cat in the Hat movie is there adult humor? He's a children's character. It's one thing if it's like trying to make it seem more grown up, trying to change how we do things here. That'd be one thing, right? But my guy, it's the Cat in the Hat. Nobody wants to see the Cat in the Hat be more adult. Power Rangers is a kids franchise. As much as I like Power Rangers, it's for kids. I can't deny that. It's for children. But the fans are interested, at least I am, and I know I'm not the only one, to see a more grown up version of it. You know, something more like a Marvel or a DC movie. Not necessarily rated R, but not necessarily Saturday morning kid stuff. So you want to try that, fine. Makes sense. The thing is, this is Cat in the Hat. No one wants to hear him make jokes about, oh, who is this? And his hat pops up as if he got a stiffy. No one wants this in a Cat in the Hat movie. A whole bunch of 2004 pop culture references. The Dr. Seuss movies do that to this day, I think. I'm pretty sure. But that's another thing. It's just, there's the one scene where he's just, I don't know what's good with him. I don't know what's good with him in this movie. There's this one scene where there's a stain on the wall and he wipes it off, and then he just goes like, the kids are like, you ruined her dress. She needs that dress for the party or whatever. And he just like, you know, it was broken when she bought it or some shit, something like that. Why? Yo, he's a jerk in this movie. He's just a terrible human being. Well, he's not a human being. He's just a terrible person in this movie. Just the worst. I can't stand this movie. I don't know what they were going for, but this wasn't it. And the thing is, right? As a kid, I liked it. Or actually, no. This is interesting story, or at least to me it is. When I was a kid, I had the Cat in the Hat DVD, right? I had the DVD, and it was broken. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't, like, it would not fun. It was a broken DVD. It has scratches or whatever. It just wouldn't work. So I would try to get it to work because I wanted to watch it. Because I'm like, it's the Cat in the Hat. But I'm not thinking like, oh, it's the Cat in the Hat movie. I'm thinking like, it's the Cat in the Hat book. I like the Cat in the Hat. I want to see this Cat in the Hat movie. Now, I'm sure I've seen it before this, but I don't know. I just really wanted to get this movie, and it wouldn't work. This movie, that and Spider-Man, the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, both two DVDs could not get to work. They were broken. Couldn't get them to work. That DVD being broken was a blessing, because this movie's terrible. Oh my god. I liked it as a kid, but I can't stand this goddamn movie. And now we're gonna, alright. this is really what does it for me, right? Because there's bad children's movies. There's nothing wrong. There's bad children movies. It is what it is. They're just, that happens. There's bad children's movies, but this is what really put it over the top for me. This is what really, like, can't stand this movie. There's a scene in the movie where they go into the box where Thing 1 and Thing 2 come from, and it's just this magical world that looks like Zeus land at Universal Studios. Keep that sentence in your head. So they're walking around, and they go down this slide, like it's like a water slide, right? They go down this water slide. The cat in the hand, 2 kids, and the kid goes, "This is like a ride at an amusement park," and the cat in the hat, he stops the whole movie. Whole movie just stops. And he turns to the camera and says, "Just like a ride at Universal Studios," pulls 2 tickets out of his cheeks, and then just goes, cha-ching. I've never seen something so shameless, advertising so insulting in my entire life. The fact that you just stopped the whole movie to give me a 15-second YouTube ad about Universal Studios, an unskippable 15-second YouTube video. The fact that the cat in the hat, I've always heard, listen, I could be wrong with this, but I always heard Dr. Seuss wasn't really with the merchandising and that kind of stuff that goes with properties, and meaning the merchandising and the franchising and all. I've heard that he wasn't really about that. It wasn't really about the merchandising and stuff. I could be wrong, but how would he have felt to see his beloved character just shill for Universal Studios? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This man literally winks and says cha-ching. I can't stand that movie. It's disrespectful to the source material. It's disrespectful to the creator of the source material. It's disrespectful to the people that watch the movie. Many of you may be just thinking like, yo, relax, it's just a movie, it's not that serious. You're getting real hostile over this. But no, it insults me, honestly. I'm offended by this movie. This it's just so terrible. Can't stand that movie. I can't stand it. Anywho, last one for today. I don't know, maybe I'll do a part 2 of this. If you guys like it, let me know. Comment down below. Also, comment, what movies don't you like? Do you like any of the movies I said? Like, please, let's have a discussion. I'm curious. Anyways, final movie. This is my least favorite movie of all time. Least favorite movie of all time. There's no other movie in this world that I despise more than this one. Maybe thinking, what movie is he talking about? What movie can he be speaking of that he thinks is the worst? Listen, the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen some pretty bad movies, I'd say, but the worst movie I've ever seen is Robo Cop 3. I haven't complained about this movie in so long. This is suppressed. I'm really suppressed. This is suppressedness that I just have to get out. Robo Cop 3, I despise. I can't stand this movie, bro. I can't stand Robo Cop 3. I'm about to go crazy. It's just, oh my gosh. So, got this kid character, not the greatest. Listen, I don't want to. I mean, she's probably an adult now, so I don't want to. It's a child actor, I don't want to, like. They've taken acting classes, probably acting better than me, but just, I don't even think it was the acting. I think I just didn't like the character. Okay, I just had to. Anyways, so this movie, right? Person who plays RoboCop in the first 2, gone. He's not here. He's replaced. It sucks, but the other guy doesn't do a terrible job. It's just, I'd like to see the first guy. First movie was kind of satiric in its manner. Like, it kind of poked fun at things in a way. It was kind of smart in a way. The second one's alright, you know. But this third one just feels like, not to make fun of Power Rangers, but it feels like you went from the first two movies, right? And it's kind of violent. It's rated R. It's kind of dealing with not serious topics or anything, but kind of like, you know, not just a goofy bad guy, I'm here to take over the world. Not that this third movie does that, but just to, it's a little smarter than the average movie. Or not even, I don't know how to explain this. It deals with more complex themes. Let's go with that. And then this third one just feels like, alright, we went R, we're going to kind of like, we're talking about these complex themes. We went R, we're doing, and it just feels like, basically, it feels like the movie getting dumbed down. It feels like, I'm 5, I don't understand anything, make this stupid and simple for me because I'm 5 and I'm dumb. It feels like the company realized, oh, kids like RoboCop. We sell toys of RoboCop and we make money.
I'm in the not too distant future. It's talking and electronic RoboCop. Hands up.
So let's make it PG-13 so kids can go see this movie. And then we sell toys. And there's a scene where he gets this freaking jetpack thing. And it feels so like that's like a jump the shark moment. Like, what's going on, bro? You got some crazy jetpack? You just decided to pull out your cheeks right now? Like, what? And it just feels like, it's there to just sell you the toy. It's ridiculous. The plot is people getting evicted or whatever. It's just lackluster. The violence. Listen, RoboCop 1. I was like 10 when I seen the original RoboCop. It is a violent movie. There is a scene where this guy is just getting shot up and just body parts just like flying out of him. I've never seen, like, I was like, oh. I went to Walmart to get the movie, right? The lady at the cash register said, I can't sell this to you, I need an adult. I was like, I didn't realize they did this for movies, or whatever. So I was like, hey, Steven, my older brother, I was like, hey, can you come here? She said she needs to see you so she can sell me this movie or whatever. So he's there, so he gets me the movie. And I took it home. And in the first 6 minutes of the movie, I immediately understood why she couldn't sell me this movie. Because body parts flying everywhere. All of that gone. It's PG-13. We're dumbing it down. It just feels like we're dumbing this down for you children. It felt like I was watching. It felt like you took a series that not necessarily took itself serious, but like had respect for itself. And then you took the same series and was like, yo, let's make this movie, but let's make it like a kid's show. Let's get the kiddies to like the movie. Let's give them jetpacks. Let's give him. He fights an android that from like Japan. And I'm sitting there thinking, this makes no goddamn sense. They made this half human, half robot thing. Bleeding edge tech. And you're telling me in Japan they just got these androids just chilling? You can just bake these androids straight off the assembly line? And they're like ninjas. They're like ninja robots. You see how that just sounds dumb? And listen, I'm talking about Robo Cop. It already sounds dumb already. But it wasn't. And then you took it and you just made it dumb. You made the whole thing dumb. You made it stupid. You insulted my intelligence with this film. I just don't understand what happened here. So many, like, idiotic, and just watching it, you're just like, oh my gosh, what is he even saying? What's going on? Like, you just feel like an idiot watching this movie the entire time. You feel like a buffoon watching this movie. See, I feel like this video, right, went in a certain order. At first, it's just, I don't like this movie. I can see why other people like this movie, right? And then it went to, you're doing things that don't seem right to me. I don't really like it because of this. But not necessarily this is just bad. This is just, I don't like what you're doing. I don't think this is the right thing to do. This is just, I don't like this. Then it went from, the more I thought about what you showed me, I don't like it. And then the last two are just, you're just looking at me and you're just looking at me and you're insulting my intelligence. And that's just how this list has gone. Or it's not a list, it's just how this thing has gone. But you know what? Anyways, I've been rambling for a while. It is what it is. These are movies I don't like. I don't know. Let me know if you want a part 2. Tell me some movies you don't like. Maybe I can do something where it's like, I don't like these movies, but everybody likes these movies, or I like these movies, but no one else likes these movies. Something along those lines. I don't know. Just leave a like, comment. You know, I already said all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.